Welcome to COVID-19 Local Impact Ottawa Valley. I'm Trevor Riley. Here's a look at the COVID-19 situation here in the county. At the latest update on April 7th, we had one new confirmed case, which brings us up to 10. No new deaths, which sits at 1, and total tests done sitting at 560, and an increase in negative tests coming back at 395. We are currently awaiting the results of 155 tests. In Ontario, the number of cases went up by 379, bringing it up to 4,726, and that is an 8% increase from the last report. 153 deaths have been reported, and the total tests have reached over 81,000 people at the 10:30 a.m. update of April 7th. Today I'm joined by Tom Sidney, president of the Renfrew Chamber of Commerce. We all know what we are going through is pretty hard to believe, but local businesses don't need to be reminded. I speak with him about the impact COVID-19 has had, and he shares some resources local businesses can access to get information. I'm here with Tom Sidney today talking about the Renfrew Area Chamber of Commerce and local businesses impacted by COVID-19. Welcome, Tom. Welcome to the show. You are at your home in Renfrew, I believe?
Yes, I am.
I wanted to first kind of start off with, it's been about 2 weeks now. Some businesses are, you're starting to look at the long term. They're starting to delay things for months now. Kind of what have you been hearing on the ground floor from local businesses? And it is not that panic starting to set in, but they have to start kind of thinking forward.
Well, I think, like you said, the 2 weeks is kind of come and gone, and now we're heading into what we classify as approaching the new normal of the uncertainty of what's gonna happen. So, the businesses in the Renfrew area are, they're definitely struggling. A lot of them, because of the smaller communities, are not deemed essential services, such as like tourist gift shops, flower shops, stuff like that. So, those are the ones that are getting hit the hardest. Some of the restaurants or food vendors are struggling as well. I just saw there's one in Renfrew that's down 80% in sales. So there's definitely a panic, and that the governments are doing everything they can, and I think maybe we want them to do a little bit more, but there's still uncertainty as to how that's going to roll out. The chamber puts on their website all of the new updated information for members to go look at. As far as getting that financial support and 75% for salaries and stuff. But, at the end of the day, how long is it going to take? It's when you have over 1 million people applying for EI in 1 week, it's going to take a toll on the system. So, it's very scary right now for members.
So in the terms of long time shutdown, they may not be able to reopen their businesses for a number of weeks. What are some of the things that the Chamber of Commerce is doing to help kind of get that information to local businesses that need it the most?
So the Chamber has a really good website. Our Executive Director, Gail, is on top of it every day. She's dealing with the Ontario Chamber, the Canadian Chambers of Commerce to sort of see the guidelines that they're doing from a federal perspective. And then it filters down to the municipalities level where, all of that information is on the website. We encourage all members to go to the website, look at how it can help. What are the different streams that they would apply? Like I know there's businesses in Renfrew where, the business is on the main level, but their home is upstairs. You close the business, but you still got to pay your rent, your mortgage, your overhead, and all that stuff. So, I definitely seek to get the right information. Well, I guess the message that I would like to put out there is, even though it is scary and it's very uncertain as to what the outcome is, the Chamber is doing everything we can to support them. We really encourage the community to get behind them and support them, recognizing that we are heading into the Renfrew area is one of the busier times with cottagers and stuff like that. And, the Renfrew area is kind of the hub to get to all those locations. So with those stores closed, it definitely is going to make an impact. But, I want them to know that they are not forgotten, that there's a lot of work in the behind the scenes, that we're trying to do and see if there's other things we can do. But letting them know that the ones that are still open and still trying, we appreciate it and we thank them. The ones that unfortunately had to close, we're hoping that they can survive and thrive back after this is sort of eased off a little bit. Because every community wants what they would call their downtown to thrive, right? So the big box stores don't take over your community. So I know Renfrew's really proud of their downtown and the historical downtown and the businesses that are there. So we definitely want them to know that they're appreciated, they're thought of, and the unknown times we will do whatever we can based on what happens next.
Welcome back to the show. Tom reminds us that those small businesses that have had to close due to COVID-19 are the ones that they turn to for donations and fundraisers. And that is why supporting them now is even more important than ever. And I guess for the local food establishments, it's harder with the flower shops and things like that who have shut down. You can't access them. But for the local businesses, the food industry and stuff, I know we're always talking about shopping local, and that's always been harped on. But maybe right now, that's kind of a bigger case than most. Because they're the ones that need the income, they need the support. What would you say to shopping local?
Well, it's definitely important to shop local. We encourage that as much as we possibly can, because that's kind of the thriving bloodstream of our community, right? The small local businesses that have been around for a while. And, as far as restaurants go, I know they're doing some fabulous jobs with takeouts and deliveries, and we encourage people to do that. The struggle part comes if you're not working, then your income is affected too. So it's harder to go and eat out than it is to eat at home. So, the big thing is we have the great services of essential services with the grocery stores, and the staff have been phenomenal and all of that. But they're also have a larger umbrella above them where small community-driven businesses don't. So, I would strongly encourage people to reach out to the community. I know we're trying to pull together all of the stores in the Renfrew area that do offer online shopping, so we can get that out to people and encourage people to definitely to look at their small town communities and their businesses to say, okay, you know what, we need to keep these going, and because we don't know how long this is going to be. We don't know. I'm hearing this morning we might not even start to see some kind of normalcy till July or August. And then, then there's also the talk about ramping back up again in November. So, with all of that uncertainty, we need to support our communities, and we need to support the people that are giving back. And the one thing that I really want to stress to the people of the area is those small businesses that are either essentially had to shut down or that are just trying to get by doing takeout and delivery. Those are the small businesses that I want everybody to remember are the businesses that we go to for charitable donations. We reach out to them to get gift certificates for silent auction items. We reach out to them to get products for silent auction items. They sell tickets for events. These stores are kind of the backbone of the communities that thrive in many different ways, from fundraisers to charities to, all of that stuff. So it's time for us to give back to them and say, we recognize everything you've done for us. Now we'll do as much as we can to help you.
All right. So not that local businesses in Renfrew need assistance, but have you been reached? You're the president of the Renfrew Area Chamber of Commerce. Has there been businesses reaching out to the chamber to ask questions? And if they did have questions, even if they're watching this, where do they get all that information? Where can they find it?
So definitely, the chamber is, even though the physical office is closed, the executive director is on social media, through email, through phone calls. You can call the chamber office. Gail will answer. She is probably the best resource for any of the questions. And like I said, our website has all of the updated information for the government's decisions and what's going to happen there. But if anybody does have any questions or just some guidance as to what and how they should do it, I would definitely tell them to reach out to the chamber office and see if Gail can help. And if not, I'm sure she's very resourceful. So if she doesn't know, she will definitely do her best to find out for sure.
All right, and I guess last question. Have you noticed, people following the guidelines to stay at home? It's I'm located here in Pembroke, and I see a lot of empty parking lots. And are people in Renfrew kind of following those guidelines and staying at home to help fight and contain this virus?
Yeah, they're doing pretty well. We still see there's still quite a few cars at the larger markets, but as far as Main Street goes, it's very quiet. It gives you an eerie feeling. There's not as one of the things that was kind of not a joke around here, but there's never a place to park on Renfrew's Main Street. And now there are quite a few places you can park. So that in itself just shows you how many people are staying home, how the impact of the businesses closing is affecting people. So it is. We see. I kind of live on just the edge of the town, and we see people walking, but it's not like it used to be with the groups of 3 or 4 walking together and stuff. It's either a couple or it's one person. So there's definitely a huge impact in seeing that.
Make sure to stay with your TV as we continue our COVID-19 Local Impact series every weekday at 5 p.m. on channel 700 and right here on Facebook, or find it on our website at yourtv.tv. Thanks for watching.